Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. In today's video, we'll be completing Hitman 3's 5th mission of Season 3, The Farewell, on Master difficulty with suit only and Silent Assassin fully intact, the entire HUD turned off, with no cuts and no saves. The mission is quite simply to eliminate the 2 targets, and the video will be broken down into 2 stages. The first stage, as always, is the plan. This is where I will be scoping out the level, finding paths and secret passageways, picking up intel, and making lots and lots of mistakes. The second stage is the execution. This is where all HUD options will be turned off, and I'll carry out the plan that was designed in stage 1 in one cinematic cut. As always, the loadout for the mission will be the original starting location, some random white suit, the ICA gold baller, the lockpick MK3, and 3 coins. Welcome to Supercut, the series where we take an entire Let's Play and condense it into one video. My name is Mr. Supercut, and this is the planning stage of Hitman 3's The Farewell. Run 1 saw us arrive by car and join Diana on the platform overlooking the vineyard estate as Goldilocks moved along. 47 and Diana exchanged some words, and she explained I needed to take out Goldilocks, aka Tamara Vidal, along with Don Yates, in order for Diana to become the next constant. She handed me an entry pass into the party, and I descended the slope to find 2 women more concerned for their personal image than their personal safety. Because of this, I decided to teach them a lesson, using a brick. Nobody around seemed to agree with my method of teaching, so I was forced to enact some harsher discipline. Eventually, I was taken out, so here we start. In run 2, I skipped all the dialogue and found Vidal slowly making her way toward the party. I left her alone, bothered the press for a little bit, found a guy that looked like if Tobias Funke and Buster had had a child, pushed him over the fence into the flowers, and had the entire state declare martial law. I got taken out, so hit restart. In run 3, I picked up an invitation that some guy had foolishly left lying around and finally entered the party.
Enjoy the party. Hi.
I headed onto the dance floor and picked up a drink, gossiped with the bartender, and then headed around the outside of the map as I already had prior knowledge of some secret entrance into Yates' abode. After almost getting spotted by a camera, I shot it down, alerting the 2 guards perched above, quickly headed through the locked door, and was trying to figure out what to do next. They followed me in and almost spotted me. After they moved along, I continued to assess the situation where a guard was perfectly placed beneath a camera. I tossed a coin, crept into the adjoining room where 2 guards were having a chat, picked up a crowbar and then saved the game just in case I got spotted on my way out. I didn't, so pressed on. I snuck through into the next area and found 2 guards with their backs to me. At the end of a corridor was the surveillance room, but there was no way on earth I was getting through, so turned back and took the guards out one at a time. I used the crowbar to pop open the electric box, flipped it off, then knocked out and dumped the investigating guard, then went and knocked out and dumped the second guard. I headed up the stairs and found myself in a large wine cellar with an important looking table in the middle and a few guards dotted about. I found a safe which I didn't have the code for, and then made my way through to a random hallway, knocked out a random waiter and dumped his random body. Picked up some rat poison and then opened the nearby door to find it led right into the main section of the party. I headed back into the wine cellar and knocked out the 2 guards in my way and dumped both their bodies, and then headed up a staircase which led into Yates' house. I climbed out of the window and up onto the roof to find Yates sat there having a chat with his wife. I climbed up to the attic, dropped the ladder into the bathroom, picked up some more poison, and then once the couple had finished their conversation, I climbed down. In the bathroom, I found a bottle of lethal poison which I put away for later use. In the room, I found a key to the basement along with a calendar highlighting the couple's crystal anniversary. I had seen Don Yates take a sip from the wine glass, so I went and poisoned it with the lethal pills and then headed back into the basement to open the safe using the anniversary year as the code. As I punched in the code, Yates' wife decided to die instead, which was highly frustrating considering I'd definitely seen Yates drink the wine and not the wife. With that, I hit restart. In run 4, I used rat poison to poison the wine instead of lethal poison and then saved the game. The wife came up the stairs first and had a cigarette on one of the balconies, went to powder her nose, and then Yates climbed the stairs and made a phone call in his weaselly voice.
Mr. Edwards, Don Yates, I have received your letter.
The couple then went out onto the balcony to sit and talk, and this time Yates drank the wine, not his wife. Meaning either it was random every time or I was doing something to trigger one or the other. Either way, Yates was poisoned and went to throw up, so I held his hair for him and then dumped his body. I fled the scene the way I'd entered and focused my attention to Vidal. I headed over to Vidal and Diana and spoke with Diana, where her and 47 engaged in a fun little back and forth, which I didn't quite understand considering Vidal had literally seen me speak to Diana at the beginning of the mission. Either way, I spoke with them a second time and then finally a third time where Vidal asked me to join her for a one-on-one chat. She led me down some stairs and basically just called me out for being Agent 47. 47 didn't let up, but he did deliver the coldest line in video game history.
If I am who you say I am, do you really think this was your best course of action?
It's 5 against 1.
Yes. See your mistake.
I shot her dead and did a runner, but got blasted to smithereens, so hit reload. In run 5, I decided I wanted to try something else with our pal Donald, so hit restart. In run 6, I headed to the house, picked up the lethal pills and poisoned the wine. Last time I had used the rat poison and Yates had drunk the wine, so I wanted to try lethal again just to see if he'd drink it this time. I fled the scene and headed toward the location that Vidal took me to in our 5v1 rumble and found 2 janitors instead of 4 bodyguards. I used a vacuum cleaner to distract one of them, knocked him out and dumped his body, then knocked out the second and dumped his body, then headed all the way back upstairs to chat to the ladies again. As we began our conversation, Don Yates' wife drank the wine and died, so I shot Vidal, got taken out, so hit restart. In run 7, I listened to the 2 chefs talking about how they'd misplaced the torch which started the barbecue and remembered hearing Vidal had mentioned she was starving. I tried looking for this missing torch but couldn't find it anywhere, so just decided to carry on. I headed down the stairs and took out the 2 cleaners and dumped their bodies, unfortunately getting spotted by one of them. I picked up a dodgy microphone and headed back up to the main area to find that I could replace the current microphone with the dodgy one, implying that one of the targets eventually made a speech, assumedly Don Yates, as Vidal wasn't really anybody in particular. I saved the game just before swapping it out, and I'm glad I did because everyone became alert to the fact that I'd swapped out the mics. I shot into the crowd, got taken out, so hit reload. In run 8, I found Diana and Vidal nattering away around the table, and once they stood up, I decided to follow them along their path. The first stop on our whistle stop tour was leaning over a balcony where I was given the very tempting option to push her over the side. I thought that all I would need to do was take out her bodyguard, so took him out, picked up his weapon, and as I headed back to push her over the side, I spotted Diana's bodyguard as well. Diana then walked off and I waited to see if her bodyguard would move along, but he didn't move quickly enough for me to launch Vidal over the balcony, so that plan went out of the window. I followed them to another balcony which overlooked a glass window with a large drop below. Diana's bodyguard was around but facing a different direction, and after they finished talking, they headed down the stairs and into the bar. Diana asked for a drink and Vidal asked for one that they didn't have. After this, they headed back to their table and the loop began again. My only chance to take out Vidal was one of these 4 areas. Whilst brainstorming and hiding from another assassin, I came across James Corden in the crowd and he was very rude, I must say. I waited for the pair to head over to the balcony again, and this time with Vidal's bodyguard already gone, I tried tossing a coin to distract Diana's bodyguard. However, the coin was close enough to the ladies that it caused them to turn around, meaning I couldn't launch Vidal over the edge, and then Vidal decided to walk off and then come back for some reason. I tried again and this time managed to toss it far enough away as to not cause the ladies to spin, and once the bodyguard's back was turned, I pushed Vidal over the edge, getting spotted by somebody else. I was very quickly mowed down, so I hit restart. In run 9, I waited for a while to see if Diana left her perch, but she did not, and she did not begin moving until almost 3 minutes into the mission, and not making it into the main area until 5 minutes had actually gone by. Relevant? Maybe. Boring? Very much so. I had a quick pointed tour from the receptionist and then headed on over to the Yates estate as I was tired of making attempts on Vidal's life. I climbed Yates's property to find him and his wife sat at the table and continued upward into the attic, dropping the ladder into the bathroom, picking up the lethal pills and traipsing into the bedroom. I opened the doors to the balcony, tossed a coin into the bedroom which the missus came to investigate, then launched a soda at the back of her head and dumped her body in the wardrobe. With her safely tucked away, there was no chance of her killing herself by drinking the poisoned wine. However, I didn't need to poison the wine, as I just choked out Don Yates and snapped his neck as he came in from outside. I managed to dump his body and flee the scene just in time as a random guard decided to just show up out of the blue. I escaped the way I'd entered and headed back to the top floor of the winery to attempt to take out Vidal again. I took out her bodyguard from among the bluebells and then noticed that I could drop a chandelier from inside the marquee, directly above where Vidal passed through. I attempted a shot through the fabric, but of course it was made out of vibranium, which aroused some slight suspicion. I tried it again and caused it to fall, which caused a little bit more suspicion, but fortunately they didn't realise it was me. With this potential new plan in place, and the lack of patience to wait for the two to complete another lap of the area, I hit restart. In run 10, I raced Vidal to the winery, absolutely crushing her, and then headed on over to Yates' estate to take him out first. The couple were just leaving the property, so I climbed in through the attic, and out of pure impatience I then decided to explore the back entrance to see if there was an easier and quicker way into the property, to see if I could get there before the couple left. I did get spotted, which was unfortunate, but I'm a trooper, so bravely soldiered on. I found a duo currently working with a sniper's team, which of course could result in a dramatic finale, but after taking out the two guys on the ground, neither of them dropped an earpiece, so I couldn't figure out what to do next. In hindsight, it was likely that the guard dropped the earpiece on the other side of the crate, but there we are. I headed toward the sniper's nest and took them out and picked up the sniper for myself. I sniped Yates, and after being blocked by a wall and stopped from taking out Vidal, I decided to hit restart. In run 11, I headed through the car park and back entrance into the compound to see if this was a quicker route into the estate. I got spotted by a camera, so I decided to abandon my race to the house and set my sights on the sniper team instead. Again, I used the sniper to shoot Don Yates, and then being blocked by another wall when aiming at Vidal, I shot a few more guards and then hit restart. In run 12, I made sure to shoot the camera, but when sneaking through the cabin, I got spotted by a guard on the outside looking in, so hit restart. In run 13, I headed the usual route I'd taken previously and blitzed my way toward Yates' estate and found that I got there just at the moment he was leaving the balcony. I climbed in and then hit restart. In run 14, I wanted to see if I could shave a second or two off, so ignored Diana's invitation and nabbed the one lying around, which, watching back, is painfully slower than just waiting for Diana to hand over the invitation. I headed toward the estate and managed to climb onto the balcony just in time to shoot Don in the head. The wife didn't notice, and so I dragged and dumped Yates into the wardrobe and then hit restart to try and do it a little bit cleaner. In run 15, I got to the estate and popped Don Yates in good time and then shot his wife because she'd seen what I'd done, then hit restart. In run 16, I got the timing wrong and shot Don on the stairs along with his wife, whose corpses were spotted by the nearby guards, so hit restart. In run 17, I shot Yates in good time, didn't alert the wife, and then dumped his body and fled the scene. I found Diana and Vidal heading up the stairs and then realised that I could open the glass ceiling which they stood above a little while later. I took out Vidal's bodyguard from among the bluebells and then followed them over to the now open ceiling, saved the game, and then launched her over the edge. Everyone became alert and I lost my silent assassin status, but nobody seemed to know it was me, which was strange. I then hit reload. In run 18, I did it again, and again everyone saw me do it, so hit reload. In run 19, I tried pulling Vidal over the edge from the inside, but this was also spotted. Diana then made a mad dash for the exit, and I followed. When she stopped, it all got a bit suspicious, so I shot her in the back of the head and then hit reload. In run 20, I tried turning on the hose to see if that caused Vidal to investigate, which it didn't. Diana then moved along, and as she did, I pushed Vidal and my silent assassin status remained intact for a second until she hit the ground. I decided to head for an exit anyway and then hit restart. In run 21, I got spotted climbing into Yates' estate, missed my window of opportunity to take him out silently, killed his guard, and then hit restart. In run 22, I managed to take out Yates successfully, but my game decided to start stuttering like that kid from Billy Madison. I saved the game and sorted it out midstream and then carried on toward Vidal. I took out Vidal's bodyguard and then followed them down the stairs to the bar. After hearing Vidal asking for a certain wine and feeling like I had run out of options, I began hunting for this elusive bottle. I shot open a glass box to see if I could put my hand in and grab the wine, which I couldn't, and got spotted, so began a little spree. I eventually got taken out, so hit reload. In run 23, I scoured the whole map looking for just one bottle of Pinot Noir, and after what felt like hours, I stumbled across one, not far from the bar. I then hit reload as I now knew where to find it. In run 24, I picked up the bottle and then placed it at the bar ready for when Vidal turned up. I then realised that I couldn't poison it unless I was dressed as a bartender, so this plan was over before it had even begun. I started up a chat with the bartender and then the women turned up and rudely interrupted. Vidal enjoyed her wine and then they wandered off. I tried throwing her over the balcony again, it didn't work again, and so hit restart again. In run 25, I took out Don Yates and planted the wine again and then headed upstairs and got spotted by the roaming assassin, so hit In run 26, I forgot to hit record, so the run was lost, but don't worry, you didn't miss much. And I'm just saying that because I don't remember what it was. In run 27, I got to Yates' estate quicker than usual, snuck in through the attic and listened to the married couple finish their conversation. I shot Yates as he entered, which the wife saw, decided to escape the property ASAP, and headed back out to hopefully, this time, figure out how to kill Vidal. Spoilers, I didn't. I took out the bodyguard, tossed a coin to distract the other, interrupted their conversation, which caused them to walk off mid-sentence, and then hit restart. In run 28, Yates was down, and so I decided to try and find this torch that was previously mentioned. I saved the game and then decided to fly up the stairs and found a torch straight away. I set the barbecue on fire, and then because I wanted to see if I could do it without getting spotted, I hit reload. In run 29, I headed back up to the estate and got spotted, but carried on over the house and headed to the van. Got spotted again, so here restart. In run 30, I took out Yates and then headed over the estate to the torches, nabbed one and then left. Not realising that on the way back I wouldn't be able to climb down the way I'd headed up, as I would drop the torch when attempting to climb. I got spotted heading down the stairs, so hit restart. In run 31, I repeated everything and then hit save heading down the stairs. I shot the camera, which alerted the guards, forgot to pick up the torch, so I had to head back, and thankfully managed to get out of there without any issues. I set the barbecue aflame and then watched as they began to serve the food, taking a plate straight over to Vidal. Vidal walked off before eating it, so I poisoned it and got spotted immediately. So, quit the game. In run 32, the game stuttered into oblivion again. In run 33, I knocked out Yates' wife and then waited for him to come up, took him out and headed out. I headed down the stairs of the main area and came across a screwdriver which gave me an idea. I damaged the light near the hose, saved the game and then followed Vidal around. I took out her bodyguard, which caused everyone to become suspicious for some reason, so hit reload. In run 34, I shot the light from a distance, causing a slight disturbance, and then had my game stutter into oblivion again, so hit restart. In run 35, I took out Yates, then Vidal's bodyguard, then damaged the light, then switched on the hose, causing one of the chefs to come and investigate, so quickly turned it off and he walked away. The floor was electrified anyway, so the hose didn't need to be turned back on. However, Diana crossed the electric floor and died, so I hit reload. In run 36, I timed it so Vidal got fried instead, but her bodyguard became very suspicious of me, so hit reload. In run 37, I killed Vidal, and then my game stuttered into oblivion again, but I'd be darned if I didn't finish. So I waited for Diana on the dance floor, and after waiting for what felt like eons, she finally showed up, and we stuttered into the sunset.
Because you're not an idiot. Let's just humor him. Yates likes his little games. Don't be long.
You got my message.
You'd never get caught on camera. Not unless you wanted to be seen. So what's the play?
You're not the only one who's been busy, 47. I'm this close to becoming the next constant. I'll be able to dismantle Providence from the inside. Only one man stands in my way. Don Yates. That weasel was the partner's legal counsel for years. He's the top candidate. But remove him from the playing field.
It won't work. If Edward suspects...
I will convince him you acted alone. Retaliation for Grey. Trust me, I know what I'm doing.
The Herald, Tamara Vidal. She has eyes everywhere, and they're all fixed on you. The plan won't work unless we take her out.
She never leaves my side for long. Whatever your plan is, I'll help you if I can.
You're sure about this?
As sure as I'll ever be.
So, after 37 runs, it was time to turn all the HUD options off and attempt the mission for the final time. Without further ado, I present to you my no HUD, suit only, silent assassin, master difficulty run of The Farewell.
Oh my gosh, be careful. The ground's super loose here. If we fall, we're going to seem like such fools. We won't fall.
Ready, Pam? 3, 2, 1. Valentina must be over the moon about John. He's been living alone here for what?
Bienvenidos to Viñeda Yates, señor. May I see your invitation, please? Gracias, señor.
Looking good, looking good.
Evening, senor.
Tamara Vidal. I'm here for the tour, it seems.
Ah, yes, Miss Vidal.
Looking good, man. Looking good.
We're talking DD. The whole place is up.
Argentina and beyond. I was an attorney. For 4 decades I served the law. Now, I serve something far grander. I serve the land.
It's a nice gesture, but a bit hubristic. Not even been appointed.
Caution and modesty has never been Donnie's style. To civilized.
Corvo, got a message from the boss. Duty calls.
Let me guess, the burn.
See that guy over there?
That's Dwayne's boss. Let him know something screwy is going on.
Don't. I know how to deal with the likes of Dawson. The one we need to worry about is Corvo Black.
Yates fixed him. You know him?
ICA regular. I always suspected he was a middleman for Morgan, Yates and Cohn. I never took his contracts. Nasty piece of work. Below my standards. But plenty of my colleagues were less picky.
Well, they certainly got theirs. I wonder how your agent will feel if he saw you now.
He wouldn't. 47 is a weapon, and weapons don't judge. They go where they're pointed.
Oh, that's cold. I like you more already.
I was third in the line of succession, after Robert and Sierra Knox. Within the pesky concept.
Sun would still rise tomorrow, and I would still be governor.
How many have been left behind?
I take it Edwards told you to chaperone me. Any idea why?
You know why. Trust is earned. Until Edwards is satisfied you're not sailing under a false flag, I will be decisive.
I meant why you.
I suppose I'm more perceptive than you.
You're also very loyal. My guess is Edwards' decision to make me a herald is not too popular with the other heralds.
We were at war about 5 minutes ago. Some people are funny like me.
But not you.
I admire the guy. Everyone says politics is-
¿Qué más, hombre?
I'm saying no other law firm has this kind of brand.
But he has good reason for confidence. He is Edward's closest legal advisor.
Oh, it's her, all right. I'm good with faces.
I thought she'd be taller.
Everyone looks tall on a stage. She's changed her hair, but that's still Tamara Vidal.
Oh, shit. She had all the pundits shaking in their boots a few years back. What was her party called again?
Future Federation. It was a kind of a crypto-fascist movement promoting meritocratic corporatocracy with a splash of transhumanism to lure in the Silicon Valley types.
Sharp dresses, though.
At Pax Mundus, we did a report about the geopolitical ramifications should Future Federation ever get into office and trigger a regional surge to the right. But the party lost momentum when Vidal stepped down.
Was there some kind of scandal?
Nothing public.
Calls for a Cabernet. Wait.
Come in, Command, it's me. Yeah, looks like an accident. Roger that.
Hello there.
Hello there.
One of the most gifted surveillance specialists ever to graduate. Right out of our inherited
47?
It's done. Now what?
Now, we strike at the heart.
Edwards. You know how to find him, don't you?
Why, Edwards finds you, 47. He is untraceable, and he never lets you forget it. He is cocky, and that will be his downfall.
What's the plan?
Too many eyes. Meet me at the Olive Grove at sunset. One last tango, 47.
Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, then do be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. This episode was live streamed over on Twitch, where I was able to interact with you guys amidst all of the accidents and mishaps I had along the way. All future episodes will be live streamed as well, so make sure you check out the link in the description to make sure you're following to join in the hunt. I will catch you in the next video. Happy hunting.